All right, guys, let's check out the Formex Reef chronometer 300-meter diver. There it is on my 7¼ inch wrist. Unique case design. Awesome bracelet. These guys are known for engineering some really cool stuff when it comes to their clasp, whether you get the steel bracelet with the metal clasp or you get their rubber strap that has the quick release on the metal and the rubber to swap them out, and their carbon fiber or carbon, I don't think it's carbon fiber, it's pressed carbon or like forged carbon or however they do carbon clasp system on their rubber strap, and it has the quick adjust on it. I've shown it on a previous model that they sent me. They also offer it for this watch as well, which is going to come in at a lower price point. I think it's $1670 if you do the non-metal, and it's like $1790 for the steel bracelet. I think I would want both. Like the steel bracelet on this is awesome. The drape on this, the flow on this is amazing. The hardware on it is amazing. I mean, it's crazy. Look at it, just bunches all up. It is so well constructed. And then the clasp. I want to talk about the clasp because I already brought it up. So it doesn't have like a peg system, you know, that is a traditional retention system. This usually just, it's just like a spring loaded here, and those squeeze together. And if you look up in there, there's like these little tabs, and those will lock down on the inside of there. So very simple operation. Don't need any ceramic ball bearings or anything like that. It just works. Now where the trick lies in this clasp, it's mind-blowing because look how short it is. It's a short clasp compared to like my Omega or something, but the amount of travel for the adjustment on this is bonkers. Look at this. Okay, so it's furthest out position. And granted, these links are not very long, but look at, there's a partial one showing, and then you have this one. Now, if I push it in, what is that, like 6 or 7 adjustments, and it swallowed a whole link. So there's no way you're not going to get a perfect fit on this. All right, let me zoom back out and we'll talk about the specs of the watch and all that good stuff, now that I already kind of like did the video totally out of order from my norm. So case dimensions here, got a little bit of weight to it. I measured from this little notch here to this little notch, 42 millimeter. Because of the case shape, I'm going to give you another measurement. This protrusion out here, which is to kind of like make it more symmetry to the crown guards. If you measure the furthest positions, it's like 46 mil. I almost never give those measurements, but I figured maybe you'd want to know them on this particular model. Same thing with the lug to lug, 49 millimeter, but you have a fixed center link. So if you were to take your furthest points here, it's like 53, but they're on such a downslope. Don't let that 53 hold you up. The watch is only like 11.5 millimeter thick. I think it's like 11.4 or something like that. Flat sapphire crystal, AR coating on the bottom side. 22 millimeter lug width here, bracelet tapers down to 20. 7.5 millimeter crown, screw down of course. 300 meter on this one. The watch sized for my 7¼ inch wrist weighs in at 171 grams. Nice weight to it. On the case back, look how flat that is. Nice screw down case back. Also has the quick release spring bars there. You basically just push those down. They slide out super easy. And then you can put the other strap on the watch if you wanted to wear the other strap. So, we did talk about the price already. $1670 on rubber, $1790 on metal. It's in pre-order right now. I didn't get the timeline of when they're going to come out, so click the link in the description. This is the black on black. There's other colorways, and you can mix and match. So like you could go with a blue dial with a black bezel. You could go with a black dial, blue bezel. You could have a green bezel. There's a green dial, green bezel. And then you could do all of those combinations however you want them. And then there's actually a metal bezel insert as well. These are high quality ceramic bezel inserts, and they're like engraved out. So like if you look at that, they say it takes quite a while to machine that out. So it's never going to wear out. You know, like if you have some that have like enamel or something painted into them, sometimes you can have issues with that. This style here is going to last forever. I mean, maybe if it took a hard hit somehow, it could crack it, but I've never seen anybody do it. So I think we just speculate that it's possible. Using BGW9 Lume on those indices are basically like ramps. Well done. Date at the 6. You have, again, chamfers going down on either side of it to draw the light into it. And then you have a nice hand set there, brushed down the center, polished on the sides, filled with BGW9 Lume with a lollipop second hand. The movement is officially COSC. It'll come with the paperwork, which COSC is, a chronometer grade. It's like a special testing and confirmation regulation that the movement goes through. And they guarantee -4 +6 seconds accuracy. There's more to it, but that's bottom line is you're looking at a very accurate movement. It's the Sellita SW300. And what they do is they have the movements regulated, and they're a top grade movement when you're buying the movements. And they don't make a ton of them because a lot of people don't buy them because they're just so expensive, because it costs money to have that certificate and to go through the regulation and the blued screws and all the showy bits and everything, which they put a solid case back on. You can't see it anyway. But in their website, it says they even have like a skeletonized Formex rotor for it or something. So it's kind of cool that they do all that for the watchmaker to see. We're never going to see it, right? But anyway, SW300 Sellita, top grade COSC, and very accurate. So 42-hour power reserve, beats at 28,000, 4 hertz. And 60 click bezel on this. I will say that I think that this is obviously a prototype because they're in pre-order. The bezel alignment on this is off. So I don't know how many other people used it, and maybe something got messed up with it, but you can see the bezel's off a little bit. 60 click, smooth and consistent around its range, but not my favorite fidget spinner feel. It's a little spongy, a little bit of play. Yeah, see, like there's that, and then there's that. So, but like I said, it's a prototype, so I'm going to give it a little bit of a pass on that. I have to throw it on wrist again real quick, guys, because it is crazy comfortable. When it came to me, it was a little tight. I added one link and backed off the micro adjust. This thing is so comfortable on wrist. It's the perfect size for me. There's no white dial one, but it would be kind of cool to do a funky combination of the colorway. So big thanks to Markus over at Formex for sending this over so I got a chance to see it. I know I wasn't the first one. I know there's other videos out there, but talk about comfort on wrist. I can't think of another like high-end, top-grade micro brand watch out there that is as comfortable on wrist as this guy is. There's some out there that are really good, but the size on this, it speaks to me. It's the perfect size that I like, like the 42x50. But then this one's thinner than all the other ones that I've tried. So it really just plants itself on wrist. It's very good, seriously. So let me kill the lights and we'll check the lume on this. BGW9 lume, super white. So you can usually tell BGW9 for two things. Well, for example, this isn't BGW9 and C3, but see how this is more white and then this is more yellow? That's a more dramatic, explanation of it. But typically if you have C3 style lume, the older stuff, some of the newer stuff is getting complicated, but it'll have a little bit of a tinge to it, whereas the BGW9 is going to be really white on the dial during the regular light. But then when you shut the lights off, the BGW9 is going to glow blue. So there's two reasons why companies use BGW9, because it's not technically, from what I've experienced, it's not as bright as C3 or any of those, but it's really white on the dial. So if you want that contrast, it looks more premium, I think, when you have that really bright white indice. And then when you turn the lights off, of course, the cool blue is, equally as nice. So well done for sure. All right, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you on the next vid.